Safety is always top of mind for Metro and County leaders, especially leading into a packed weekend, bringing thousands of NCAA fans and Taylor Swift fans. And Fox 5 has been following efforts to make the Strip safer over the past few months.
One effort by the county is making sure that foot traffic along those pedestrian bridges keeps moving, all to deter crime. Fox 5's Danny Maston walks us through the progress of that effort.
Pedestrian bridges are a common way for people to get across the Strip to and from hotels. The effort to change the definition of pedestrian bridges to crosswalks was amplified after 2 people were killed in a stabbing spree in October, one a showgirl impersonator and the other a tourist. This came after an off-duty Washington police officer was killed in March last year between MGM Grand and New York, New York. Clark County told me 3 weeks ago they installed a new signage on the bridges to remind people they are being filmed and all criminal activity will be reported to police. The county also told me they were in the process of installing decals along the walkways to remind people to keep moving to avoid the crowd clusters. When I went to look for those decals today, I didn't see any along the bridges on Las Vegas Boulevard and Spring Mountain. The county tells me decals were installed on the ground of the Harmon pedestrian bridge, but after monitoring the effectiveness, Metro said people were still stopping on bridges. No other ground decals were added to additional pedestrian bridges, and this is where things stand now. Clark County continues to work in partnership with the resorts in Metro to identify additional ways to improve safety on pedestrian bridges without impacting the rights of street performers. Reporting from the Strip, I'm Danny Maston, Fox 5 News, Local, Las Vegas.